Okay. Get the stream going. Get the link so I can share it to people. Sharing the link, sharing the link, sharing the link so people might watch the stream. Doody doo. Doody doody doo. Doody 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 doo. Doodly doodly doo. Doodly doo. Doodly doo. Sprinting down the hallway. Doodly doo. Going to the door. Doodly doo. I got a key card. It's the wrong one. Oh boy. Okay. Alright. So, as you can see by the title, I am going to be reading a book that I got from Dollar Tree called All the Rules, Time-Tested Secrets for Capturing the Heart of Mr. Right. Now, the main reason I'm reading this is because I'm curious how many of these rules would work on me. Like how many of these would make me want whoever's following them, you know? So let's go through this. First, we're gonna read, okay, the rules sampler. Don't meet him halfway or go Dutch on a date. Don't open up too fast. Don't call him and rarely return his calls. Don't expect a man to change or try to change him. Sound familiar? You may have heard these rules already. From your grandmother. The reason she used them, along with generations of other women before her, is that they work. When you follow the rules, you learn how to be a creature unlike any other. I'm a creature. Confident, radiant, happy. You understand why the man must take the first move, and why you should never chase him. You stop waiting anxiously for the phone to ring because you're too busy living and pursuing your goals whether he calls you or not. You stop making excuses for him when he doesn't call. You don't accept a weekend date after Wednesday, and you don't have sex on the first date, or the second, or the third. For years, the authors of this book have been using and passing the rules along to their single friends. For years, this book has spread. The word has spread, with the growing number of rules girls supporting each other and going to each other's weddings. Now it's time for you to discover for yourself the rules, trademark, and the rules, trademark, too. Yeah, they trademark the rules. We're not reading all of the testimonies. Now, this book is actually a combination of two books called The Rules and The Rules 2, both of which have the rules as trademarked. The Rules, Book 1. To our wonderful husbands and great kids, special thanks to our agent Connie Clausen. Chapter 1. The History of the Rules. No one seems to remember exactly how the rules got started, but we think they began circa 1917 with Melanie's grandmother, who made men wait nervously in her parents' parlor in a small suburb in Michigan. Back then, they called it playing hard to get. Whatever you call it, she had more marriage proposals than shoes. Grandma passed on her know-how to Melanie's mother, who passed it on to Melanie. It had been a family treasure for nearly a century, but when Melanie got married in 1981, she freely offered this old-fashioned advice to her single college friends and coworkers, like us. At first, Melanie whispered, "The rules," After all, modern women aren't to talk loudly about wanting to get married. We had grown up dreaming about being the president of the company, not the wife of the president. So we quietly passed the rules on from friend to friend, somewhat embarrassed because they seemed so, well, 50s. Still, we had to face it. As much as we loved being powerful in business, for most of us, that just wasn't enough. Like our mothers and grandmothers before us, we also wanted husbands who would be our best friends. Deep inside, if the truth be told, we really wanted to get married. The romance, the gown, the flowers, the presents, the honeymoon, the whole package. We didn't want to give up our liberation, but neither did we want to come home to empty apartments. What said we couldn't have it? Who said we can't have it all? If you think the rules are crazy, don't worry, so did we. But after much heartache, we came to believe that the rules aren't immortal or outlandish. Sorry, aren't immoral, not immortal. Aren't immoral or outlandish. Just a simple working set of behaviors and reactions that, when followed, invariably serve to make most women irresistible to desirable men. Why not admit it? We needed the rules. 90s women simply have not been schooled into basics, the rules of finding a husband, or at least being very popular with men. Soon we got bolder and began to talk louder. These rules, they worked. Although they were old-fashioned and unflinching, they were extremely effective. At first we were uncomfortable with some of the premises which seemed to fly in the face of everything we'd been taught about male-female relations. But there was no getting around it. Success talked. We swallowed some of our preconceived theories, followed the rules faithfully, and watched as so many of us got married, along with being career women or whatever else we were. There we were, a secret underground, sharing the magic, passing it on, doing what historically women have done for each other since the world began, networking for success. This time, though, the stakes were larger and the victory sweeter than any corporate deal. We're talking marriage here. Real lasting marriage, not just loveless mergers, the result of doing the rules. The simple rules. The how to find a swell husband rules. For years, we had been sharing them with the women we knew, both at home and at work. For years, women had been calling us to check up on points. Did you say that you have to end the date first, or he does? I forget. One night, during a Chinese dinner in Manhattan with a few of our single friends, we heard Cindy mention something about these, rules that she'd heard about from a friend in California. We knew it. There could be no mistake. These were the same rules one of us had followed in New York to find her wonderful husband. The rules had crisscrossed the country, bouncing from woman to woman, from suburb to city, until here they came right back to us over egg rolls in Manhattan. But, and here's the catch, Cindy got them wrong. The rule says men have to end the date first so that they're in charge, said Cindy. No, wrong. The rule is you end the date first so that you leave him wanting more, we explained. It was then that we decided to write the rules down so that there would be no mistakes. Chapter 2. What are the rules? How many times have you heard someone say, she's nice, she's pretty, she's smart, why isn't she married? Were they talking about you, perhaps? Ever wonder why women who are not so pretty or smart attract men almost effortlessly? Frankly, many women we know find it easier to relocate to another state, switch careers, or run a marathon than get the right man to marry them. If sounds like you, then you need the rules. What are the rules? They are a simple way of acting around men that can help any woman win the heart of the man of her dreams. Sound too good to be true? We were skeptical at first. Read on. The purpose of the rules is to make Mr. Right obsessed with having you as his by making yourself seem unattainable. In plain language, we're talking about playing hard to get, Follow the rules, and he will not just marry you, but feel crazy about you forever. What we're promising you is happily ever after, a marriage truly made in heaven. If you follow the rules, you can rest assured that your husband will treat you like a queen, even when he's angry with you. Why? Because he spent so much time trying to get you. You have become so precious to him that he doesn't take you for granted. On the contrary, he thinks of you constantly. He's your best friend, your rock of Gibraltar during bad times. He's hurt if you don't share your problems with him. He is always there for you when you start your new job, if you need surgery. He even likes to get involved in mundane things, such as picking out a new bedspread. He always wants to do things together. When you do the rules, you don't have to worry about him chasing other women. Even your very attractive neighbor or his bosomy secretary. That's because when you do the rules, he somehow thinks you're the sexiest woman alive. When you do the rules, you don't have to worry about being abandoned, neglected, or ignored. A woman we know who followed the rules is now married to a wonderful man who doesn't try to get rid of her to go out with the guys. Instead, he becomes slightly jealous when she does her own thing. They are very good friends, too. Men are different from women. Women who call men, ask them out, conveniently have 2 tickets to a show, or offer sex on the first date destroy male ambition and animal drive. Men are born to respond to challenge. Take away challenge, and their interest wanes. That, in a nutshell, is the premise of the rules. Sure, a man might marry you if you don't do the rules, but we can't guarantee that yours will be a good marriage. This is how it works. If men love challenge, then become challenging. But don't ask a man if he loves challenge. He may think or even say he doesn't. He may not even realize how he reacts. Pay attention to what he does, not what he says. As you read this book, you may think that the rules are too calculating and wonder, how hard do I have to be? Am I never to cook him dinner or take him to a Broadway show? What if I just feel like talking to him? Can't I call? When may I reveal personal things about myself? The answer is read the rules. Follow them completely, not à la carte, and you will be happy you did. How many of us know women who never quite trust their husbands and always feel slightly insecure? They may even see therapists to talk about why their husbands don't pay attention to them. The rules will save you about $125 an hour in therapy bills. Of course, it's easy to do the rules with men you're not that interested in. Naturally, you don't call them, instantly return their calls, or send them love letters. Sometimes your indifference makes them so crazy about you that you end up marrying one of them. That's because you did the rules without even thinking about it, and he proposed. But settling for less is not what this book is about. The idea is to do the rules with the man you're really crazy about. This will require effort, patience, and self-restraint. But isn't it worth it? Why should you compromise and marry someone who loves you but whom you're not crazy about? We know many women who face this dilemma, but don't worry, this book will help you marry only Mr. Right. Your job now is to treat the man you are really, really crazy about like the man you're not that interested in. Don't call, be busy sometimes. Do all of this from the beginning, from day one. Do it from the second you meet him, or should we say, the second he meets you. The better you do the rules from the beginning, the harder he will fall for you. Keep thinking, how would I behave if I weren't that interested in him, and then behave that way? Would you offer endless encouragement to someone you didn't really like? Would you stay on the phone with him for hours? Of course not. Don't worry that busyness and lack of interest that will drive him away. The men you don't like keep calling after you've turned them down, don't they? Remember, the rules are not about getting just any man to adore you and propose. They're about getting the man of your dreams to marry you. It's an old-fashioned formula, but it really works. We understand why modern career-oriented women have sometimes scoffed at our suggestions. They've been MBA trained to make things happen and to take charge of their careers. However, a relationship with a man is different from a job. In a relationship, the man must take charge. He must propose. We are not making this up. Biologically, he's the aggressor. Some women complain that the rules prevent them from being themselves or having fun. Why should dating be work? Some ask. But when they end up alone on Saturday night because they did not follow the rules, they always come back to us saying, okay, okay, tell me what to do. Doing what you want to do is not always in your best interest. On a job interview, you don't act like yourself. You don't eat cake if you're serious about losing weight. Similarly, it is not wise to let it all hang out and break the rules as soon as you begin dating a man. In the long run, it's not fun to break the rules. You could easily end up alone. Think long term. Imagine a husband you would love. Beautiful sex, children, companionship, and growing old with someone who thinks you're a great catch. Think about never having to be alone on Saturday nights or having to ask your married friends to fix you up. Think about being a couple. Unfortunately, however, you must experience some delayed gratification in the first few months of the relationship to achieve this marital bliss. But has wearing your heart on your sleeve ever gotten you anywhere? There are many books and theories on this subject. All make wonderful promises, but the rules actually produce results. It's easy to know what's going on when you do the rules. It's very simple. When he calls you, pursues you, asks you out, it's the rules. If you have to make excuses for his behavior, for example, he didn't call after the first date because he's still hung up on his ex-girlfriend, and you have to think about every word he said until your head hurts and you call him, it's not the rules. Forget what he's going through. For example, fear of commitment or not ready for a relationship. Remember, we don't play therapist when we do the rules. If he calls and asks you out, it's the rules. Anything else is conversation. Huh. Time to hydrate. Move the mic away. Okay, let's go. Chapter 3 Meet a Rules Girl. If you had ever met Melanie, you wouldn't have thought she was extraordinarily pretty or smart or special. But you might have noticed that she had a way of behaving around men that put prom queens to shame. Melanie did the best with what she had. She wore makeup and clothes well, and acted elusive. Unlike other prettier girls who ran after men or made themselves available every time a man called, Melanie acted indifferent, sometimes aloof, sometimes nice, but always happy and busy. She didn't return their calls, didn't stare at them, a dead giveaway of interest, see rule number 3, and always ended phone conversations first. I've got a million things to do was her favorite closing line. Melanie's boyfriend eventually proposed to the one girl he thought he would never get. Her. Who hasn't met a Melanie? Haven't we all known women who seem to be experts around men? Men don't appear to unnerve these women or trip them up. They have a certain self-confidence around men that has nothing to do with their looks or their jobs. They misspelled Melanie's. Melanies simply feel good about them. Oh, it's plural, got it. Melanies simply feel good about themselves. They can take or leave them, which makes men have to have them. Call it reverse psychology or whatever you want, but Melanies always get their man. When you meet a Melanie, especially a plain and simple Melanie, you want to go up to her and ask, What is it? What are you doing that make men run after you? What's your secret? What am I doing wrong? A genuine Melanie would probably say without too much thought, oh, it's really nothing. The born again Melanies, former rule breakers who have learned their lesson after being burned by chasing men, would probably say, yes, there is a secret. Men love a challenge. Don't talk to them first. Be busy sometimes. Turn them down once in a while, nicely. You will find Melanies everywhere you go. Watch them carefully. Observe how they have made self-contentment and independence an art form. They don't look wildly around to catch men's eyes. They don't say hello first. They just go about their business. It would probably be good practice the next time you are at a social event to stand back and watch the Melanies and the rule breakers. Compare how the two types of women behave around men and notice the results. Notice how the Melanies intentionally don't carry a pen with them in order to give men their phone numbers, and they don't rush to give their business cards. Notice the way they move around the room, while the rule breakers stand too long in one place, look anxious, or talk too long to one man. They make it too easy for men to ask them out. And as you will read this book, that's a big mistake. One day, after years of watching girls like Melanie snag the men of their dreams, we asked Melanie how she got such a great catch. She took pity on us and told us about the rules. She said that we were nice, but we talked too much and were overly eager, and that we mistakenly tried to be friends with men rather than an elusive butter. Oh, butterflies. Where she put it, creatures unlike any other. See rule number 1. Needless to say, we were offended by what seemed to us to be a downright trickery and manipulation. The rules would send women back 25 years. What would the feminists say? On the other hand, Melanie had what we wanted, the husband of her dreams who adored her. It made sense to rethink our offended psyches. Melanie assured us that plain-looking women who followed the rules stood a better chance of being happily married than gorgeous women who didn't. Thinking back on our own dating history, it did appear that the men we really wanted didn't necessarily want us. We'd be ourselves, friendly and supportive, and they thought we were great, but it ended right there. And come to think of it, the ones we didn't particularly care for, the ones we didn't notice, maybe even snubbed, were the ones who didn't stop calling, the ones who were crazy about us. There was a message here somewhere. Treat the men we wanted like the men we didn't want. Simple, but not easy. But what did we have to lose? We wanted we wanted what Melanie had. So we did what she did, and it worked. We are almost 20 pages in. We're on chapter 4, and we still haven't gotten to the damn rules. I have been reading this for over 20 minutes, and we still haven't gotten to the rules. Fuck. How much setup do these rules need? I had a D&D campaign that required less backstory than this. Chapter 4. But first, the product. You. Actually, hang on. I need to use the bathroom. Where's my beer at packs? There we go. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, chapter 4. But first, the product. You. Before the rules can be applied for the best, most believe before the rules can be applied for the best, most unbelievable results, the man of your dreams asking you to marry him, you have to be the best you can be. Certainly not perfect or gorgeous, but the best you can be, so look your best. The better you look, the better you will feel, and the more describable you will become to him. Maybe other men will start finding you more attractive and asking you out. You will no longer feel that the man you're currently dating is the only man on earth. You'll be less anxious and more confident, and when you look and feel good, you're less likely to break the rules. We're not nutritionists, but we do know that eating right, protein, fruits, and vegetables, makes you feel good, and that exercise releases endorphins, which make you feel happier and more energetic. So, in addition to a healthy diet, we strongly suggest that you shake your buns, join a gym, buy an exercise video, or go jogging in a nearby park. Also, a great place to meet men who are jogging or walking their dogs. Make exercise exciting by playing music while you do sit-ups. Diet and exercise and the rules have a lot in common. Both require putting long-term goals before short-term gratification. You will have to experience a certain amount of discomfort when you eat a cookie and you can't call a man. But you want to be fit and you want to get married, so you do what you have to do. Make friends. No, yeah, make friends with a woman in the same predicament and jog together. Go to dances together and reprimand each other when either of you is tempted to break the rules. You don't have to do all this hard work alone. If you're serious about finding a husband, then you must change your definition of gratification. Gratification is a man calling you, pursuing you, and asking you to marry him. Gratification is not a hot fudge sundae or a hot date where you break the rules. Self-improvement will help you catch and keep a man. So try to change bad habits like slovenliness if you expect to live with a man. Men like women who are neat and clean. They also make better mothers for their children, the kind who don't lose their kids at the beach. Now a word about clothes. If you walk around in any old clothes on the theory that what counts is only what's on the inside, not your outside, think again. Men like women who wear fashionable, sexy clothes in bright colors. Why not please them? If you don't know a lot about clothes, read fashion magazines like Cosmopolitan, Vogue, Glamour, and Mirabella, and books on the subject. Consult a friend whose taste you admire, or enlist the help of a personal shopper at a department store. Trying on clothes by yourself in a dressing room can be overwhelming and confusing. Not to mention painful if you're out of shape. So it's always good to get a second opinion. Why not a professional one? Personal shoppers can help you find clothes that look good on you and that hide your flaws, as opposed to clothes that are perhaps trendy but not flattering. Always remember when you are shopping that you are unique, a creature unlike any other, a woman. Don't aspire to the unisex look. Buy feminine looking clothes to wear on the weekends, as well as during the work week. Remember that you're dressing for men, not other women, so always strive to look feminine. While it's good to keep up with the times, don't be a fashion slave. Don't spend a month's salary, say, on bell bottoms and clogs just because they happen to be in vogue this year. First of all, they may not be around next season, and more importantly, you may not look good in them. We know women who have gone overboard with one look, be it man-tailored suits or oversized crocheted sweaters, and ended up looking overdressed, trendy, and not at all sexy. Be a smart shopper, not a runaway spender. Buy a few good classics and mix them with cheaper items. Keep in mind that just because something is in vogue doesn't mean that it will look good on you or appeal to men. Men don't necessarily care for the waif look. Waif? Waif? I don't know how to pronounce that. Waif. The waif look, or like it when women wear long granny dresses or combat boots, however popular they may be. They like women in feminine clothes. Wear a short skirt, but not too short, if you have the legs for it. Also, don't feel that you have to wear designer clothes to attract men. Men don't care whose label you're wearing, just how your clothes look and fit on you. It's better to buy a no-name brand that looks stunning and hides your hips than a designer outfit that doesn't. While you're shopping in a department store, stop by a cosmetics counter and treat yourself to a makeover. We can all look better when we do. Many of us don't realize our potential until we get a makeover, which, by the way, is often given for free with a minimal purchase. Pay attention to which colors are good for you and how the makeup artist applies them. Buy whatever he or she suggests that you can afford and go home to practice putting it on. Don't leave the house without wearing makeup. Put lipstick on even when you're just jogging. Do everything you possibly can to put your best face forward. If you have a bad nose, get a nose job. Color gray hair. Grow your hair long. Men prefer long hair, something to play with and caress. It doesn't matter that what your hairdresser and friends think, you're certainly not trying to attract them. Let's face it, hairdressers are notorious for pushing exciting short haircuts on their clients. Trimming long hair is not fun for them. It doesn't matter that short hair is easier to wash and dry, or that your hair is very thin. The point is, we're girls. We don't want to look like boys. It will be easier to feel like a creature unlike any other if you follow good grooming. Manicures, periodic facials, and massages should become part of your routine. And don't forget to spray on an intoxicating perfume when you go out. Just don't overdo it. Now that you look the part, you must act the part. Men like women. Don't act like a man, and if don't act like a man, even if you are head of your own company. Let him open the door. Be feminine. Don't tell sarcastic jokes. Don't be a loud, knee-slapping, hysterically funny girl. This is okay when you're alone with your girlfriends. But when you're with a man you like, be quiet and mysterious. Act ladylike. Cross your legs and smile. Don't talk so much. Wear black sheer pantyhose and hike up your skirt to entice the opposite sex. You might feel offended by these suggestions and argue that this will suppress your intelligence or vivacious personality. You may feel that you won't be able to be yourself, but men will love it. In addition, don't sound cynical or depressed and tell long-winded stories of all the people who have hurt you or let you down. Don't make your prospective husband a savior or a therapist. On the contrary, act as if you were born happy. Don't tell everything about yourself. Say thank you and please. Practice this ladylike behavior which waiters, doormen, and even cab drivers who take the long way to your destination. This will make it easier to be ladylike on dates. If you never meet men accidentally, go to everything. Dances, tennis parties, even if you don't play tennis. Club Med, just go, go, go. Show up. Put a personal ad in a magazine. Answer ads. Ask people to set you up. Don't shy away from singles events with the rationalization that men who go there aren't my type. Remember, you're not trying to find large groups of men who are your type, just one. Don't lose sight of this concept. It will keep you going on those bad days when you are convinced that true love is just never going to happen to you. Last but not least, trust this process. You may not meet your husband immediately after you've gotten in shape, bought some terrific outfits, and practiced the rules on 3 eligible men. It may not be your time, but it is our experience if you continue to do the rules at every opportunity and pray for patience, you will eventually meet and marry the man of your dreams. Okay, after half an hour of reading this damn book, we are finally encountering rule number 1. And let me tell you something. I am half tempted to end this stream on a cliffhanger so you guys have to keep watching this series. But at the same time, there's a part of me that thinks that this book is definitely not meant to get a guy like me. Because, I hate to break it to you, I too am very depressed. And I would much rather have a woman who is honest about her feelings than one who thinks that she has to hide everything in order to catch me. Sure, I like a woman who seems happy and can make me happy, but if her happiness is fake just like mine, we're both going to be miserable. And sure, maybe there's romance in being miserable together, but I'd like to know that that's what I'm getting into, okay? And as far as the clothing thing, I'm sorry. I think most women look a lot better in sweatpants than in the tight dresses, okay? Like, not gonna lie. Just throwing that out there. This book seems like there's a very specific type of man that they're going after, and it ain't me. And they're like, oh, this applies to get you any man. You sure about that, sweetie? You sure about that? I don't think so. Well, I will begin reading the actual rules on a later date. I have other things to stream right now. See ya.